from last year to kind of help you through this year?
I definitely think making sure we don't overlook anybody and just taking it one game at a time. I think that's what will definitely help us is not overlooking Utah Valley. They're obviously a good team to make it to regionals, just like everybody else in the regional. And I think the biggest thing is just respecting them and respecting the game.
Did you find that Pac-12 play kind of is similar or the same to postseason, or what did you take away that was different last year from Pac-12 play?
I think the Pac-12, is a really competitive conference. So I think having that competition, through the last few months has really helped us prepare for postseason. So we're kind of ready for that high-end competition. So I think that, that'll be helpful.
Coach just talked about his plan to kind of ride your arm through this weekend. Can you talk about preparing for yourself to pitch at least 3 times this weekend? I mean, is that a different level of preparation going in to get yourself ready for that? Do you dial back workouts, anything like that? I
wouldn't say dial back workouts. I'd say definitely work on more focus, and that my approach is I'm willing to do whatever needs to be done for the team. If you need me to pitch 30 innings this weekend or 50 or whatever it is that comes down to it, I'm going to do it. If you need me to pitch 3, I'm going to do that too. So I'm just basically whatever's needed for the team is what I'm willing to do this weekend.
What would you consider a heavy workload? I mean, like back to your club days, how much would you pitch on a weekend? I mean, what would be too much?
In high school, I pitched 7 games in one weekend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's
one time or
one
was that
weekend.
common?
That was for like 4 weekends. So, and then ASA, it just depends. There's sometimes multiple pitchers, so that can vary. But I'll be ready for anything.
Sure, Utah Valley's a little different team than the one you guys saw a couple weeks ago. So how much do you take away from that matchup? They were without 7 of their best players.
I think that even if they have their best players or not, you still can't overlook them. They're obviously here for a reason, and I think that our coaches have some information on them that we're going to work hard to work on. And we have 2 of the best coaches that can pitch, and I think that's super beneficial, and that our hitters will get a lot of reps. So knowing a little bit about them will definitely be helpful.
Coach was talking about how much depth this team has, and if for some reason Courtney doesn't get on base, that there's just plenty of women behind her to back up this team. Talk about this year's depth compared to last year.
Yeah, I agree. I think that, obviously it's really nice when Courtney gets on, but sometimes that doesn't happen, and I think that our lineup is I feel very confident in our lineup, and I know that they're going to have my back, and I think that, if Courtney doesn't get on, Alyssa will, and if Alyssa doesn't, Janie will, and someone will find a way. I think that we do have a lot of depth, and I think that's awesome.
How much, you guys have pretty much all been here except for one freshman in the starting lineup. How much does that help you guys going into this weekend?
I think that experience is really helpful, just because we have been to a regional like this, we know what it's like, and we can explain it to Nikki and the other freshmen. This is what it feels like. Yeah, you're gonna feel nervous, you're gonna be happy, you're gonna be excited. You're gonna feel all those emotions, and that's okay because we're feeling that too. We're feeling those little bit of extra nerves and those little bit of extra excitement, and that's okay to have those feelings. And I think that experience from the upperclassmen is definitely beneficial to us lowerclassmen.
What did people tell you going into the tournament last year?
Just to I think it's just have fun, enjoy it. This is an honor and a blessing to be here, and get the opportunity to play in this regional at home, on Howe Field, and just to have fun. Don't apply too much pressure to yourself, and trust what you've done for the past months.
How much do you guys talk about? The last postseason game you played here, you walked off in the defeat Super Regional. How much do you guys talk about that?
I think that's not a common conversation, but it's something we like to remind ourselves so that, we don't make those same mistakes. We don't overlook anybody. I think that's the biggest thing we picked up from it. I don't feel like we're dwelling on Nebraska anymore, that was last year, this is this year. So I think it's important, to remember what it felt like, how we felt walking off that field, and so we don't feel like that again this year.
You guys have been playing with the number 1 seed for much of the season. A lot of teams maybe bring a little extra against 1 seeds. Is that going to help you as you go into the postseason, just having that almost postseason atmosphere for the past month or so?
Yeah, I definitely think that is helpful. Everybody wants to be everybody. You know what I mean? If you're ranked in the top 25, there's always a target on your back, and then I think that playing those teams, like you said, in the Pac-12 has been helpful, really helpful.
Talk about not overlooking teams. Do you still scout Wisconsin and Albany going into the tournament, or do you wait until know who you're playing?
I think, I don't usually think a whole lot into that, so that's usually more of the coach's thing. But I'm sure that, we're preparing to play anybody, but we're definitely preparing to play Utah Valley first.
Has Jess reached out to you or anybody on the team?
Yeah, I talk to Jess often. She's one of my great friends. You know, she obviously congratulated us on a Pac-12 win, and I talk to Jess very frequently, and I'm sure she's very happy for us and would love to come watch us play or whatever it may be. And yeah, she definitely reaches out.
Good deal.
Thanks, Sharon.
Thank you guys.